This video is going to be an introduction to matrices, a little bit of vocabulary, and how to multiply a number by a matrix. So let's get a little bit of vocabulary and notation out of the way. Inside the brackets, we have two rows of numbers, we have three columns of numbers, and this forms what we call a matrix. So a two-dimensional array of numbers is a matrix. So horizontally, we have the rows of the matrix, and then vertically, read top to bottom, we have the columns of the matrix. If you put this together, since we have two rows and three columns, this is said to be a 2 by 3 matrix. So always when you're talking about a matrix, make sure that you list the number of rows first and the number of columns second. Now, once you can talk about a matrix, you might want to talk about the numbers or the elements that are inside of the matrix. So let's say that you wanted to talk about this number -5. Well, that number is in the first row and the third column. So we'd say -5 is in the 1, 3 position because it's in the first row and the third column. So just like when talking about the size of a matrix, rows and then columns, when you talk about the position of a specific element, you say the row and then the column. So that's how you navigate matrices. And here we're performing an operation. So we're taking this matrix and we're multiplying it by the number 2. In math, when you have a number multiplied by something that's not a number, that operation is said to be scalar multiplication. In this case, the number 2 is a scalar. And the reason we use that word is usually what's happening in some sense, and sometimes this can be really deep, is this number is literally scaling your object. Just like if you made a scale model of something, you might make it smaller or you might make it bigger. That's what this number is doing in some sense of the word. Now, the important question for us is, well, how do you perform scalar multiplication? Luckily, this works exactly the way you might guess that it would work. We're going to multiply every element of the matrix by the scalar. So 6 times 2 is 12, 0, -10, 8, 6, -6. That's how you perform scalar multiplication. Anyway, this is the first video. I'll have several more about matrices, but this is the beginning. Hope it helped.